Welcome back to So You Want to Choose a Major. I'm Summer, and this episode we're going to be discussing self-knowledge. The first thing you have to learn in order to undertake the career decision process is yourself. You're going to have to determine 4 elements: your personality, skills, interests, and values in order to figure out what field will work for you in your life. In order to look at these, we're going to have some conversations with our 3 undecided high school students. First, we're going to talk to one about her personality and how it relates to her future career. So how would you describe your personality? I'm a pretty cheerful person. I love people. I have trouble sitting still sometimes. Not that I have a lot of time to sit still. I'm pretty busy. It sounds like you would enjoy working with people. Oh, definitely. I'm a hostess now, and I love how people-focused it is. We have a great team with the servers and everyone, and I love chatting with the customers. And then when it gets busy, I feel kind of like I'm the commanding general, and I'm like sending my troops into battle. It's a lot of fun. That does sound fun. Do you enjoy arranging things in other ways too? Yeah, I guess I do. I'm planning a fundraiser right now for the service club, and I'm having a great time figuring out the logistics and everything. And I'm a really organized person in general. You should see my locker. Based on this conversation, we can see that one is a person who enjoys people, being busy, community service, organization, and planning. These are great things to know as she begins investigating careers. It's unlikely that she'd like a position that involves a lot of working independently. She's more likely to enjoy a career that involves working with the public or with a team. Next up, let's talk about skills with 2. This is just about your abilities and what you can do well. So what are your hobbies? I like to watch YouTube videos and play video games. I spend too much time on Tumblr. I'm in the art club at school. Right now we're doing set painting for the spring play, which is fun. What subjects do you enjoy in school? What do you do best in, and what do you struggle in? Honestly, I'm pretty good at school. I don't really struggle in anything. I do well in all my classes. English is probably the hardest for me, but I'm still doing fine in it. My art classes are probably my favorite. I have a lot of fun in them, and I had a computer programming course last semester that I didn't expect to enjoy nearly as much as I did, but it was surprisingly really fun. What do you think has been your greatest accomplishment so far, and what made it special? Well, that programming course I mentioned has a massive final project, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm actually making a couple of adjustments on it now, and I'm going to turn it in as my graduation project. As we can see, skills isn't narrowing a lot of possibilities for 2, but it's still definitely providing some helpful information. She's academically successful, she likes and is good at her art classes, and she has an affinity for technology. She clearly takes pride in her work and enjoys tasks that allow her to be creative. Now we're going to talk to 3 about interests and see what kinds of things she likes to do. Now 3, what are your interests? What do you like? What do you do for fun? What activities are you involved in? Basketball, 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 and basketball. Are you in any other clubs or activities? I don't really have time, what with practice and everything. So what do you do for fun in your free time? I hang out with my friends, watch TV, mess around online, you know, the usual. I go for hikes with my family a lot. We're a big camping, outdoorsy family. That's great. What's your favorite subject in school? Gym and lunch? I guess I like my science classes, especially biology. Sometimes we go for field trips around campus and just like explore the woods. Those are great. Based on 3's interests, we can get some ideas generated about what fields she should look into. She clearly likes the outdoors, sports, science, and being active, so she would probably want to minimize the amount of time that she's spending indoors in her education and in her career. Now we're going to talk about values. These are the lenses through which you experience the world and form your personal truth. Basically, what's important to you? What kind of work environment would you like? I really want to work with and help people in my career. I just know that I can't be trapped at a desk all day. I need to keep moving. What about your financial goals? Money's not really important to me. As long as I'm fed and sheltered, I'll be fine. I'm not looking to get rich or anything, but I don't think the starving artist is what I'm looking for. I'd like to be able to travel and not have to worry about where my next paycheck is coming from. What about your work-life harmony? I like work. As long as I can get my vacation time in, I'm perfectly fine with spending some nights and weekends in the office, as long as it's worthwhile work. Mostly I'd like to leave work at work. I'd be willing to make some exceptions for special projects and things, as long as it's not too common. I'd really like to have a life outside of work, so I'd rather keep my energies elsewhere. I know I'm not going to play basketball professionally or anything, but I would love to keep playing and maybe take up volunteer coaching someday. There are lots of different values that come into play when you're making career decisions. These are just a few examples. You're really going to have to reflect on what's important to you. There may also be family, religious, or cultural influences that affect your decision. The most important thing is that your profession is aligned to your values, whatever they may be. All of these elements can and will change over time, so don't expect to have all of the answers right now. As you try new things, you'll discover new interests and skills. Your values will change as you go through different phases of life, and even your personality will change with new experiences and as you grow. The best career for you may change with all of these aspects. This is completely normal and just a part of your lifelong career decision process. I encourage you to take your time and think through all of these elements and then talk them over with someone you trust. Just discussing all of your concerns and ideas can help tremendously. If you're a student in high school or college, there are professionals for you to talk about these issues with. Seek them out. That's what they're there for. So let's get started exploring. Your assignment for the night is to take the MBTI and the Life Values Inventory and journal about your experience and your results. Were they difficult? Do the results make sense for how you see yourself? Can you think of examples that go with or against these results? Is this information useful to you? Reflect on your profiles and use them to consider your field of study list and update it accordingly. It's important to remember that anytime you take an assessment, it is only a tool that can provide a language and a new perspective on yourself. If you don't think your results match who you are, then think about why that is and what that could mean. Don't take these results as gospel. You can take these results into consideration, but make sure that you're listening to yourself most of all. I hope you enjoyed this episode of So You Want to Choose a Major. Remember to pay attention to yourself so that you can make the decision that's best for who you are.